Got two films from Synapse here. This is Enthralls of a Virgin and its sequel, Enthralls of a Beautiful Woman. I'm not going to say much about the Enthralls of a Beautiful Woman. I'm just going to talk about Enthralls of a Virgin because I think it's probably the better of the two films, and it's so weird that it probably deserves its own video, and that's what I'm going to do. If you've never seen this, it's like a hybrid between a softcore porn and a slasher, and it's got that weird Asian twist to it that all weird Asian films have, especially when they're trying to be weird, which this one seems like it's really trying to be. We see a group of women. See, it starts off basically, we got a group of women and they're shooting these pictures, like these nude pictures. I don't know if it's like a calendar deal or what exactly, modeling agency, what it's supposed to be, but we shoot between, or we switch between them shooting, and we switch between, a love scene or sex scene, whatever you want to call it, between one of the guys and one of the women, and that goes on for like a really long time. And then they go to the woods, and this movie takes a long time to get going. I won't say that up front, but they're going to the woods, and then finally they get to the woods. They do run over somebody, which I'm not even sure if that plays a part in what happens later or not. It's kind of hard to follow there, but maybe it does. I don't know. So they get to the house, and you got the men and you got the women. And the boss guy, he tells this one guy he's going to go wrestle this girl. So he goes, and it's a pretty funny wrestling scene that follows. He uses a sharpshooter, he uses a power driver, basically knocks the chick out, and I don't really know what the purpose is of it, but it happens, so it's here. And then, of course, there's more nude stuff, more softcore stuff. Finally, the swamp guy, if you want to call it that, kind of rises from the woods and goes slashing, but then he kind of takes... kind of like it turns between being a slasher and actually carrying on with the more softcore stuff of the film. It's like a real trippy thing. When it does gore, the gore is pretty cool. It's like 80s gore, so I like it regardless. It's better than CGI. But our slasher is not only slashing, but he's actually had one time fornicating with people that he probably should be killing if it was a regular slasher film. But it's so odd, and the effects are really good. Like, I do think the effects are pretty good. And it's got a whole lot of nudity, which really bogs it down. Like, that's the worst part, is like, all that softcore stuff just keeps going on and on and on. And it really goes out of its way to do some gross stuff at times, too. But still, it's fun, and it snaps, how they are. It looks great. It's in widescreen. Looks better than it's probably ever going to look. It's the 1.78 widescreen transfer, original uncut Japanese language version. Newly transferred, easy to read, removable subtitles. And then part one of a video interview with director Gaera, essay of Japanese film fogging controversy. That, of course, is where they fog out the genitals area in most softcore films, like the Nikatsu or whatever films, they have that. This basically is like a Nikatsu film with a little bit of slasherness tossed on top of it. And like I said, it's so strange, it's so weird, it's worth checking out. I did check out, like I said, Enthralls of a Beautiful Woman, which is a little bit harder to follow in some ways. I guess you could say it's not as good of a film. A whole completely different plot. I don't even think it connects anywhere at all, but it's got gore. It's basically these guys are shooting this woman up with dope. They have their way with her. She ends up dying. This other girl comes into play. The characters kind of turn on each other, the guys do. There's a lot of really good gore. Like, this may even have better gore in some aspects than the other one does, but it's still got the same erotic stuff, and it just doesn't end up being as good of a movie overall at the end of the day still. So that's my little review on this one. Like I said, it's good, and it's good to follow that with this, but it's not as good as the other one. The gore is, but the story isn't. And, of course, this is also 1.78 widescreen transfer, original uncut Japanese language. Newly transferred, easy to read, removable subtitles. Part two of our video interview with the director. And an essay on Japanese fogging controversy about the same thing there. So that's, as it's called, the Enthralls of the Virgin and the Enthralls of a Beautiful Woman. This one's definitely the better of the two. Like I said, these are Synapse titles, so Synapse is always doing good stuff. They've released Tenebrae on Steelbook lately, but that's some old school Synapse. So if you want to go back to the catalog and check out some stuff, I would definitely recommend checking those out, even though they're probably acquired taste.